Eric Burgess here. Enrollments from 10 schools are listed below. Find the mean, median, mode, and mid-range of the data. So we've been given some data and basically just asked to find the basic statistics of this set of numbers, this set of data. So what we're going to do is we're going to first use the calculator way, which will tell us the mean and median for free, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do it manually and use that as a way to check our work. And then if your teacher uses either way, you'll be shown both ways in a way to check that you got the right answer. So let's go ahead and first things first, let's put these numbers in a list in the calculator. So I'm going to come over here to Stat. I'm going to go to Edit. And in our list, we have list 1. We've got all these numbers. If you don't have the numbers, then you can just start entering them. But if you do, you need to come up and highlight list 1 and hit clear. Then push down. And it will clear the list for you, and you should be able to add numbers now. So what we could do is we just start putting them in. So 1424, 1772, 2000, 2511, 1212, 1672, 1900, 2500, 1000, 1000, 1017. Cool. That was our 10th number. If we go up, you can see we're on list element number 10. So we've got our 10 numbers in. Let's just go ahead and double check. I always recommend doing a double check. It is worth the peace of mind. Trust me. And it looks like we're good to go. 1424 and 1772. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to second quit to leave, and we're going to go to stats. So in stats, they have an ability to calculate some of these things. So we're going to go to calculate, and these are going to be based on one var stats. So we're going to choose one var stats, and we put our numbers in list 1. So make sure you've got the list selected that you put them in. And if you need to change list, just hit the blue key second. And then you see in here in blue, there's the list numbers. So if you use like list 6, you could hit the blue key and then choose that list, and it would change it for you. So let's go ahead and go down to calculate, and let's see here. So this is what it thinks are mean. Let's write some of these down just so we have them as a reference. So according to the calculator, X bar is equal to 1700.8. And if we come down a little further, we can get the median as well. So it says that the median is equal to 1722. And this is by the calculator. We'll just make a note of how we got these numbers. And there's not really much else we can use in here as far as just straight up telling us the answer. So let's go ahead and compute some of these manually. And let's do the mean first. So I always write down the formula. It helps you memorize it, or at least get familiar and recognize it. So write X bar, that's the sum of all the data points. So the sum of all the X, right? If this was like X1, this was X2, you would add all these X points up, and then you would divide by the total number of X points, which we give the letter N, right? We call that the sample size. So this is the formula for the mean, right? We add them all up, and then we divide by the number of them that are there, and this will give us the average amount. So if you wanted to show your work here, you could write this all out and, do them all. You could do 1424 plus 1772 plus on and on and on. And then on the bottom, we're dividing by the total number of numbers, right? There are 10 numbers, so we have 10. And this is going to give us the mean. So you can continue to write them out. Make sure that whatever you choose to show as work here, your instructor is okay with, because different instructors require different amounts of work or different ways of showing your work. Some are cool with you just using the calculator. You just got to know what's expected of you. So to do this, let's go ahead and enter this. There is a way to enter fractions with this calculator. If you hit alpha F1 and then the first one, numerator over denominator, you can actually enter it that way. I'm going to do it the other way this time. So I'm going to use parentheses. So we want all this stuff to be added, and then we want to divide. So the division has a higher order of operation, so we need to put the addition in parentheses so that the division doesn't happen first. So we're going to go ahead and enter these. 1424 plus 1772 plus 2000 plus 2511. And again, I would recommend saying these to yourself, maybe mouthing them. Something about sort of saying them out loud, I think, helps reduce errors when you're doing a test, especially. It can be very helpful. 2500 plus 1000 plus 1017. All right, so we're going to close the parentheses because we want all this to happen first and then divide. If you don't have the parentheses correct, you'll get an error. But even if it somehow still computes, it'll do this division first. And what will end up happening is it'll divide these and then add the rest. So you get a different number, a wrong number. So we're going to divide by 10. And we get out 1700.8. And that indeed matches what's up here. If there was a mismatch, then that would be evidence of a mistake. And you could go through and look for what you perhaps entered wrong. But this is our mean. And we've seen it done two ways now. And so we have a high degree of confidence that this is right. So for next up, we need the median. So for the median, we need to put all these numbers in order from the smallest to the biggest. So your calculator can do this for you. And so I'm going to go to stat. And then you see this sort. So what it can do is it can sort your list so that you don't have to do this, which you can do it manually. I just think it's very error prone. It's very easy to miss a number. So I highly recommend, if you have a calculator that can sort, to use this. So we're going to go to sort, and we're going to tell it to sort list one. Now list one's in blue right here on the 1 key. So we're going to hit second, the blue key, so that we can get to the blue stuff. Now we're going to close this, close it, put it in parentheses. It's going to sort list one. It says it's all done. So we're going to go to stat, edit to see our list now. And you'll see that it's actually in order. So with this, with the median, we have 10 numbers here, right? And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So when you have a number with no remainder, right, it divided evenly. Like if this was 11 and we divided by 2, we would get 5 remainder 1. So what that would mean is we would go down, we would take this and then we'd add this one. We would go down 6 numbers and that would be the median. But on this one, we have 5, which means that there's 2 numbers in the middle. There's no remainder. There's nothing that's clearly in the middle. So if we had 10 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we went down, right? This is the 5th number, right? We'd come down. I'll put this in red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be the middle number, right? That's what you would think. But look at this. If we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're now coming from the other direction. This is the middle number. So we have 2 middle numbers when there's no remainders. So when it's an even number of data points, we don't have a clear middleman. So in this case, we would actually add both the middle numbers, 5 plus 6, and then we divide by 2. So whatever the 5th and 6th numbers are in our list are going to be the ones that we do this with. And you can very easily just divide by 2. If you have a remainder, like if we had an 11th number, if we had an 11th one, watch this. It would come down to 11, and then we'd come down 6 numbers, right? Because we'd go down 5 with 1 remainder, so we'd have to go down 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we come down this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see there's a clear middle number. No need to add and divide things. So these are the only 2 cases you'll ever run into, because numbers that we're with here, we're going to be dealing with just integers. So we're always going to have either an odd or an even number very easily found out this way. So since we had 5, we need to come down and we need to add the 5th and 6th numbers. So you could rewrite this list on your paper as work if your professor wants to see you sort the numbers. Or maybe you could write a note, used calculator, just make sure it's approved. And we're going to come down to the 5th number. which is 1,672. We're going to add to it the sixth number, which is 1,772. And we're going to divide by 2 to get the middle number. So this is going to be, we're going to hit second quit. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to get, again, parentheses, 1672 plus 1772. And then we're going to close it so it does this addition first. Then we'll divide by 2. And we get out 1722. So this is our median. So I guess we should write this. This is our mean, x bar. This is our median. MD or MED, you could even write median. All right. So we've got here our mean and median, and we see that they match what the calculator gave us. So we're good there. Next up, we're going to do our mode. So mode is the number that occurs the most. And looking at it, it's kind of hard to tell, but if you actually go to your list again, since it's in order now, any numbers that are the same will just be next to each other. So if we see any duplicate numbers, which there are none in this case, no duplicates, then we would say, okay, well, there's no mode. So we would write down no mode. Don't write 0 because 0 is a number. And that would mean that there'd be a 0 in this list, which there isn't. So don't write that. And if there was a number, say that 2000, say we had another 2000 here. Well, then the mode would be 2000 because there's two 2000s. If there was a tie, if there was like a 2000 right here and a 1000 right here, well, 2000 and 1000 occur more than the others. So we would have two modes. We'd have a mode at 1000 and a mode at 2000. So you would write down both those numbers. All right. And then finally, to wrap it all up, we've got to find the mid-range. So the mid-range is just the middle point between the lowest and the highest value. So since we have them in order here, we can actually just look right here. So our biggest value is 2,511. And our lowest value is 1,000. So the way we get the middle is we use the midpoint formula. It finds the middle between 2 points. So we've got 1,000 and 2,511. And we're going to add them together and cut them in half. This will give us the middle, right? Because that's halfway between the two numbers put together. So we're going to get out a number. Let's go ahead and close this. Second quit. We're going to again use parentheses for the order of operations. 1,000 plus 2,511 divided by 2. And we get 1,755.5. And this is our mid-range. Mid-range. And that is how you compute these things. And there's a way to verify some of your work as you go. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to drop a comment down below. If you're a Citrus College student, definitely consider stopping by online tutoring. We're there to help you out. Subscribe and hit that bell icon for future videos, and we'll catch you in the next problem.